Ever walked into a room and felt a weird tension, like you could cut the air with a knife, even though no one said a word? That's energy. And whether we realize it or not, we're all carrying it, sharing it, and absorbing it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Crash. I'm your host, Gethin Mayers, and on this podcast, we talk all things spiritual, positive, and real. I'm so glad you are here. Today, I want to talk about the energy we carry with us. It's invisible, but it speaks louder than words, and it has the power to either elevate a room or drain it completely. I always get told that I have a really good energy. People feel my energy a lot, like work and the mediumship and stuff. A lot of people, they always come up to me afterwards and they're always saying like, yeah, you have really good energy. I feel it. But this wasn't always the case. Where I used to be quite a negative person, I used to fill the room with negativity. Because now I've become a positive person, I've started to fill rooms with positivity. And there's been multiple cases where I've walked into a room. So I've always must have been quite sensitive to energy. Because there's been multiple cases I've walked into a room and I'm like, yeah, there's a bad feeling here. And then a couple of minutes later, a fight will break out. Or you can really feel the tension. Especially like if there's been like arguments or if someone's really happy, you can feel it in the room. So what is energy? This is like what I started asking myself is, what is energy? Because we all agree that it's a term, but no one can actually see it. No one can actually agree on what energy actually is. So energy is just not a vibe. It's a frequency. We pick up on people's emotions subconsciously. Our thoughts, intentions, and emotional state radiate outwards. A quote that I always have spoke to, your energy introduces you before you even speak. So people can tell who you're about, whether they're going to gel with you or not, before you've even opened your mouth. And I feel that that's so positive and powerful. The fact that we can control our energy. And if we're giving off bad vibes, we're giving off that bad energy. People are going to treat us different before we've even opened our mouth. So how do I maintain my energy? How do I uplift my energy? Well, I do morning check-ins. So what energy am I stepping into the day with? So if I wake up and I'm in a bad mood, that's the energy I'm going to be carrying for the rest of the day. So a little trick I do, I always talk to myself in the mirror. I'll always say some nice things about myself just to pick my energy up so that my energy is a positive one going into the day. So I'll say 5 mental things about me. So like about my nature, my personality, how I'm funny, this kind of stuff. And then 5 physical things. I like my tattoos. I like how my hair is this morning. I like my face structure, how much weight I've lost. I like my legs, this kind of thing, just to fill me up with good energy. Grounding and breath work. So this is like another way that you can boost your energy, because when you're grounded, you got more clarity in your head. You're not so cluttered in the mind. So you can do a lot more, get away with a lot more as well, and raise your vibrations. There's multiple ways you can do it. Meditation, movement, breath work, but it's all about grounding yourself just so that you're able to come back down and cleanse your energy, if that makes sense. Protecting your peace. This is another key part. So this is all about visualizing a protective bubble around you in the brightest light possible, filling yourself up with light. I know people who wrap themselves up in bubble wrap in an actual bubble. Some people put flowers around themselves, but it's all about the brighter the light, the more pure the intention, the more positive your energy is going to be. So just have a little bit of an energy cleanse, protecting your peace. So obviously avoid getting involved in like negativity, avoid getting involved in like the news, drama, gossip, bitchiness. All this kind of stuff can help protect your peace and help you give a better vibe. So I try to stay away from bitchiness. I haven't watched the news. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched the news or got involved in politics. But yeah, it's been a long, long time since all of that. Then you've also got letting go. So this was a real big one for me. And it was letting go of all the anger, all the grudges, all the hate. Because when you're holding on to all that kind of stuff, you don't forgive yourself. You don't forgive, and you're actually damaging yourself when you don't forgive. So you're causing yourself to manifest and build up these new big balls of negative energy. And it's not good for you. It's not good for the people around you. So this is why sometimes rather than holding a grudge, you just got to let universe take its control and just put it out in the world that you don't want to be involved with the negativity. You want to be more yourself. You want to be in your own space. You want to enjoy. Your past don't define you. And I know it takes a lot to heal from a lot of the past, but a lot of us, we have a bad energy, a negative energy because of our past, because of the past things that's actually happened to us. So I feel if we're able to control this and heal from it, and rather than holding the grudges and move forward, big things will happen to us and our energy would improve massively. You don't have to be perfect, just intentional. And this is the key point about it all, is the fact that you don't have to be perfect. No one's perfect. No one's going to be perfect. You can't be positive all the time. Like myself, I catch myself some days where I feel really negative. I do. But I do these little tricks just to pick myself up, because I'm noticing when I'm becoming negative. I'm noticing when I'm surrounding myself with bad energies and that kind of stuff. I catch myself thinking the negative rather than thinking the positive. So as soon as I catch myself thinking the negative, I switch the switch and I go back to thinking positive. So for every negative thing I just said in that 5 minutes, I'm back thinking another 2 positives to make up for it. You know, because I want to stay in this high vibration. I want to stay in this high positive mood, because your energy is contagious. So if I'm positive, other people are going to feel positive. Other people are going to feel more secure in their cells to be able to be happier. I want to be the light to other people. And when you start being positive, you can be the light to other people. And then we got this massive domino effect that's going off one another, which I think is absolutely incredible to believe that it is possible to achieve that. So let's go deeper into when energy feels off. Why it's okay to not always be high vibe. So like I just said, you're not going to be perfect all the time. You're not going to be having this high vibe all the time. And sometimes it's okay, as long as you're not causing harm to other people, as long as you're not being nasty to other people, as long as you don't let it go on for too long. Because the longer you let this lower vibe go on, the longer you're going to feel stuck. When I was an alcoholic, gamble addict, depressed, it's because I let it go on for too long. And I was using substances to help me, because I was getting that little high vibe from something that was causing me so much damage. And it's crazy to think that I was reliant on alcohol and gambling to make me feel better. And yet it's the reason I felt worse, you know? And I say that with a lot of pain, because during that moment you have tunnel vision, and like I said, you clutch onto all the high vibes. So this is why you need balance in your life. So you do need to feel every emotion that's going on, but if you have too much of the other of one, you're going to be out of balance. It's yin and yang, chaos and order. So if you have complete order in your life, then you're going to be missing something. You're going to be missing that little bit of chaos. So you're going to lose a lot of love and passion for it. If you're living in chaos and you got no order, no structure, nothing, you're just going to feel like everything is coming down on you. But if you've got a mixture of both, you get that perfect balance where everything is intertwined, where you got chaos, you got order. So I live in chaos, but I've got order to my life. I know that there's certain things I have to do, because that's how I want to live my life. There's certain things, even though I've tried to have complete structure, it'll never be a thing I'll be able to do. But I have added little systems in place. So like I've said, every Monday, it doesn't matter when I do it on Monday, as long as I do a podcast and a meditation every Monday to get it up. TikTok live, it doesn't matter when I do it, as long as I do one every single day. So it's the little things that I'm building on and moving forward. Oh, okay. So how do you identify emotional leaks? People, places, habits draining you. So if you go to see a friend and you dread the thought of going to see that friend because you know that you just feel tired and drained afterwards, there you go. That's a sign that you don't want to do it. It's your body telling you, that your subconscious, that this person isn't good for your energy. This person is draining, and they're a bit like an energy vampire, which we can cover in another episode, because energy vampires are all around us. And believe it or not, some of these people can be your mom, your dad, your nan. And I'll tell you a story. I spoke to my nan on my dad's side in, God, good few years. And it got to the point where it was quite draining to go and see them, because every time we'd go and see them, we got busy lives. I've been around business for, since I was young. My dad helped my dad. So we got busy lives working, etc. And every time we'd go and see my nan on my dad's side, she'd have it marked on the calendar the last time we went and saw her. And then that's the whole time. The whole time we was there, that's all she would explain to us, is like, oh, this was the last time, blah, 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 blah. And it just got to the point it was draining. And we used to avoid it because obviously we didn't want the lecture every time we went up there. And now I haven't spoke to them in years, which is sad, but they're not very nice people anyway. So, but that's families for you. But that's an example of a draining person. Then you got draining places. So this could be like work. If you don't enjoy the work you're doing, or you're forced to do something you don't enjoy, this can be really draining. Like, I don't like going to nightclubs, for example, because I find them really draining. Even though I'm having an absolute blast of a time, dancing and just doing my own space. But as soon as someone comes in my personal space too much, oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So, nightclubs is a place for me. And habits, like I said, the drinking, the gambling, it's little habits that you're draining your energy without realizing. Laying in bed all day. That's a habit that's making you, become this kind of like slob mentality. So these little things you can do, just get out of bed, move your area that you're working in. For example, like if you always do, you're scrolling on your phone in bed, and then at night you're like, oh, why can't I sleep? It's because your brain's associating that with a fun place, or a scrolling place rather than a sleeping place. So get a chair in your room instead. So then sit in your chair to scroll rather than lying on the bed. There's little things you can do to help. But it's all about self-compassion when your energy is low. So this is all about being kind to yourself when your energy is low, rather than feeding into the idea. So when you're having all these emotional leaks with the people and stuff like that, if they're just constantly draining you, and then you start believing this is how you are all the time, this is your state, this is who you're meant to be, you're going to be stuck in this low energy cycle where every time you go and see them, you might have a little bit of energy, and then you come home and you've lost all your energy. You're going to be in this cycle over and over and over again. So it's all about recognizing when you're feeling this way, recognizing the people, the places, and the habits that's doing this to you. You are not your bad day. You are not your sadness. You are the awareness behind it. And I love this quote, and it's really one of the quotes I do say to myself quite often, because you are not defined by your bad day. There's going to be a new day. You're not defined by the bad 5 minutes. You're not defined by your sadness. It's okay to experience the emotions. But what you are defined by is your awareness to it. If you haven't got no awareness that why you're feeling this way, why your energy is drained, you're not going to be able to move forward and go back into that higher vibration. And this is something I've worked very hard on, because I used to be blind to it. I'm not telling you it's easy, but I used to be so blind to how I was feeling, what was making me feel certain ways. And I put a lot of work into it, did a lot of meditations, reflection, healing, and I've healed pretty much most of my trauma now. Don't get me wrong, there's days where it's so bad, but like I said, I catch myself and I'm aware I'm feeling sad. I'm aware I'm feeling angry. And that's the main thing behind it all, is becoming aware of everything that is going on around you. What energy are you carrying right now? And is it yours or something you've picked up along the way? Are you always the shoulder that people go to dump all their problems on, but then you can't deal with your own problems? Are you the person who's always running around after everyone else and not focusing about yourself? Are you constantly running on empty and you don't feel like you're getting a good night's sleep? Start protecting your own energy. Start focusing on yourself, because how are you meant to help other people when you're not on top form? How are you meant to shift your mindset and help move forward, help the whole world by radiating light if you're not your top form and you're prioritizing other people who 9 times out of 10, they don't even want to help themselves? So why are you helping them if they're not helping themselves? Take a moment today to check in with your spirit. Ask, what do I need to feel lighter? You deserve to feel good in your own energy. You do. And that's the important thing. Everyone deserves to be good. in their own energy. Everyone deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves that light in their life. And it all starts with becoming aware to it, of who's taking your light from you, who's making you shine dull, who is the one who is jealous, or they've got anxiety and they only dump their problems on you, or they only come to you when they have problems. Thank you all for listening. I hope this episode gave you something to think about and maybe something to feel. Protect your peace, protect your vibe, and remember, your energy is your message. Leave them with a message. The people who you don't need, leave them with a message that you're going to start protecting your own energy. Until next time, stay grounded, stay glowing, and stay you. I've been Gethin Mayers, and this has been The Spiritual Crash. See you in the next episode. Thank you.